tough game, because we played against the top side, very well organized side. We felt that we started strong, and then they got back into the game. They were very, as I said, very organized. Two different phases. When we were building up, they were doing man-to-man, so it was always tough. And then when we could get 3 or 4 passes together, they would run back and deep, and their wingers would go almost in a line of 6, and it's never easy to create chances when they defend that well. So yeah, top side to play against, and a very tough game for both teams. Could have gone both ways, and I think it's a fair result for everyone.
Bernardo, Sean Wright Phillips, well done on your performance today. At half time, what did Pep say to you? Did he say to you, keep doing what you're doing, or did he have any tricks up his sleeve to unlock them?
Well, a little small details, but the team was playing okay. We weren't very dominant, we didn't create that many chances, but I think we were keeping well the possession, we were controlling well the rhythms of the game. And when you play against a top side like Arsenal, the way they defend, they're so competitive, the rhythm that they put in their actions is so high, it's never easy to create chances. And we knew that. They're a top defensive side. And we were trying to get into the pockets to create little spaces to then give chances to our strikers. I didn't think that we were very, very effective today. But still not a bad game. Of course, we're not happy because we played at home and we wanted to win. But we have to take the point. And now... still a lot of games to happen, and of course we're not favourites anymore, but we're still in this title race, and we're going to try and do our job to win again this title, knowing that it's very difficult and tough because we play against top sides.
Bernardo, Gael Clichy here. Congratulations for your game, man. Quick question for you. We've seen during the game that you were often on the left, on the right, in the middle. We felt that you guys lack a bit of creativity, in the final third, and you are the kind of player that can bring that. But we saw you, the more the game was going, we saw you more trying to link between defense and midfield, to bring the ball up. Is it something that Pep asked you, or you felt that the team needed more control to advance within the field?
Well, I agree with you first, because we didn't create that many chances. So yeah, definitely we need to improve on that, because our strikers deserve to have more balls to score goals. And then, yeah, in the beginning of the game, the strategy was to be on the right pocket. And then when Nathan Ake was injured and Rico played, I went on the right wing because Rico plays very well in between the lines. And then when Kovacic came off, I went to the left to play a little bit more as a help to Rodri and in the midfield. So different roles, but definitely the creative part of getting better at giving balls to our strikers and creating more chances and finding better the spaces. We should have done better today, I think.
Bernardo, was you expecting Arsenal to maybe be a little bit more expansive with the way they played rather than playing with such a low block? Did you expect more from them to attack you guys more?
To be honest, yes, because last season they played against us and they always played very aggressive and very man-to-man. And we won the 3 games. And this season, they've even when they played at the Emirates, they still played sometimes on a low block, very patient, and they got their results playing like that. So we were expecting them to play this way, to be honest. Yeah.
Martin, you leave here with something, but not everything. So how do you reflect on that point?
Yeah, it's true. We won all the 3 points, obviously, and we tried our best to get a win, but in the end, we didn't do enough. So we'll take the point and we move on.
William, satisfied or maybe not completely?
No, we cannot be satisfied when we draw, but it's okay. We learn from some games. When we cannot win, we don't have to lose. That's why we did well. So yeah, we live with 1 point, but we are not satisfied.
Martin, in terms of Arsenal's progress and the game here last April, did we see how much you missed this guy last year?
Yeah, I think any team in the world would miss this guy. You see the quality he has defending with the ball. Such a complete player, So yeah, we're so lucky to have him, and I'm glad he's fit now. So, but yeah, brilliant player and brilliant performance again today.
Yeah, how hard a work was it, William, keeping them out for 90 minutes plus. We were actually, before Martin got here, having a little chat off camera, and I said to you, is it more tiring on your legs or actually your brain just staying completely focused, knowing that
It's more
if 1 second goes wrong, it's all done?
I think it's more in our head because we know it's the best team in the world, Manchester City. So we have to be focused all the game, and we did well. We didn't concede, but we didn't score as well. But we are happy, and that's it.
And just tell us about that partnership with Gabriel. It's obviously one of the best in the league, but particularly today, defending Haaland. Is the plan one of you goes super tight in with him, and then the other guy has to cover around and help his teammate?
I'm good because Gabriel is good. He helped me a lot. Not only him, is all the team. When we lose the ball, everyone running back. So I think we all defend well, and that's good. That's a good point, and we have to keep going like this.
Martin, City have scored in their last 57 home games. So defensively, brilliant effort. What about going forward today?
We had to defend a lot, a bit more deep than we planned to, but I felt like we were dangerous in certain moments when we had the counters.
Could have nicked it.
Yeah, when we managed to keep the ball a little bit, but it's hard when you've defended for a while and then you get a ball and your legs are heavy. And but in the moments where we managed to take the ball and make a few passes and really take those counters, I felt like we were dangerous. So I felt like we could have won it in the end there. So. But it was a tight game and a tough one.
And lastly, where does this leave us? Advantage Liverpool, all to play for? How do you see it?
It's a long way to go, so much can happen, before the end of the season, and we have to take it day by day and game by game, and that's the only way to do it. So we'll keep working hard, keep pushing, and we'll see.
Okay, well, player of the match is a very tired William Saliba. The captain's going to do the
match. That was at the Emirates in that defeat to Arsenal earlier this season. So this is how we stand after a real feast of goals on Easter Saturday. Aston Villa beating Wolves by 2-0. Bournemouth coming through 2-1 against Everton. Dominic Solanke on the score sheet there. No winning 12 now for the Toffees. Somehow it finished 1-1 between Brentford and Manchester United last evening. Chelsea couldn't see off Burnley. 2 goals from Cole Palmer, but Burnley's 10 men fought back to get a well-earned point there. And Newcastle came from 3-1 down to beat West Ham 4-3. Harvey Barnes with a couple from the bench there. 1 apiece between relegation threatened Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace. Sheffield United let a lead slip against Fulham very late. Spectacular equaliser from Rodrigo Muniz late on, and a spectacular winner from Heung-min Son for Spurs against the Luton side. Again, haven't won in 9 now. And earlier on Super Sunday, Liverpool coming from behind. Danny Welbeck with a very early goal there. 2-1 it finished at Anfield. Luis Diaz and Mo Salah with the winning goal. So this is where it leaves us now with 9 games to go. Liverpool with a 2-point advantage. They face Sheffield United next before they head to Old Trafford. Arsenal in second place. Again, will that goal difference count for something at the end of the season? They have a 6 advantage over Liverpool right now, 11 advantage over Manchester City. City in third, a point behind Arsenal and 3 points off the top. Then it's Villa, Spurs, Manchester United and a whole host of teams competing for European places.
Goalless at half-time. Manchester City, as you can see, with 72% possession with only 4 touches in Arsenal's penalty area and a shot on target each. It's been tight, as we showed you. The one real opportunity fell before he went off to Nathan Ake. Was that a little bit of a let-off for Arsenal?
A massive let-off for Arsenal. From talking about a yard out, you don't have to do too much with this. I think it ends up coming off of his shoulder. He really whips his head onto it, kind of like you lose the timing of it. You can see what here, look, really whips his head. It comes off like the shoulder, whereas all you want to do with that is just watch it onto your forehead because you're so close to the goal. You watch it onto your forehead, you can just guide it over to the goalkeeper's left. You can see it's a massive chance. It's a massive chance, and the kind of chance I think Arsenal have got away with one there because I think it's been very comfortable. Yes, the possession and everything looks like City are dominating, but they've not really hurt Arsenal apart from that chance there.
You talked about what Arsenal might do to City in terms of a game plan before the game. What have you made? You've noticed something about the way City have altered things slightly to stop Arsenal playing?
The press. I think we're used to seeing City years and years ago, and then earlier on in the season, they're really aggressive in the press, set little traps. As you can see, Haaland's involved here, but they're just getting to areas. They're not necessarily sprinting at them, but they're locking them into positions that if there's one touch, long ball, they pick it up. And then they'll keep doing it. You make mistakes and errors, and then you just make errors. Look, you'll just pass it back to City. And they kept doing that over and over again and making it hard for Arsenal.
Yeah, it's correct. And you can see Alan this time really going at it. You know, the last few games, I know he's been injured, but you can see that when one player is not going, your main striker, the team is struggling. And you can see here in this first half, City are showing a little bit more appetite and desire to win the game. It's not enough yet, like Jan said, but I think you need to see better from both teams second half to show us that they really want to win the game. It looks like a draw at the moment is happy for everybody.
I think they're showing a real good composure at the moment at Arsenal. Going to City, at City's place, and City having the dominating the ball, in so to speak. But there have been a couple of occasions where Arsenal have just shown them how they can break on them and how they have to be very careful. This is why Martinelli is such a big miss, because I think if he was playing, when you look how deep Jesus and Saka are, with Martinelli, who really can stretch a team, that would probably cause City more problems. So it's going to be interesting to see how fit he is, how much time he can get, because with someone like that, with that kind of pace, you're really going to cause City more problems than we can at the minute.
Yeah, right. He's mentioned that. Sorry, Gail, the two wide players there, Saka.
Yeah.
And Jace, can you believe how deep they have been at times?
I mean, and we know City, you know, they will have the possession. You know, you will hurt them on transition or the second ball. And this is what you cannot do when you are so deep. You know, you can't really, even if you collect the ball, you have like more than 60, 70 meters to go again. I will say, that's why we said we've shown that with the fullbacks or the wing back that City are using at the moment, being two centre backs, you can give yourself a chance to be a little bit higher as a winger and ask your fullback a little bit more energy to go and close them down. I know it's hard, but you have to take risk. Without risk, you're not going anywhere.
Because what he's saying there, because if you can take a risk, because if the ball goes into those two guys, they're not the guys that are going to hurt you like how Bernardo Silva will hurt you or De Bruyne will hurt you on those sides. So you will have time to get across, like Gail's saying, to stop them, because they're just there to take up the space to make you worry about them, whereas they can't really hurt you properly with the ball.
And from an attacking point of view, for like Jesus and Saka, in your head you have to play a little bit of cat and mouse. You can't just, my fullback's there, I'm going to follow him. Otherwise, he's going to keep pinning you back. You have to at some point say, all right, let me just say 10 yards forward. Let me see what he does. Yeah. And if he doesn't go, then you know, okay, we've taken away kind of like an overload a little bit. And then you just edge a little bit further. He has to play cat and mouse. He can't let the City defenders have it their own way.
OK, so no breakthrough. I just wonder now, when you look at that table, Gail, how do you see it? 9 to play with those three where they are at the moment?
Well, it's going to be very interesting. A bit disappointed with tonight, the performance of both teams, I would say, even if I think Arsenal came for the draw. But like we said before, you know, we don't talk much about Liverpool, but that's a perfect result for them. Without playing too well, they managed to get the point. And I think, you know, finishing the day on top, I think is a beautiful result. And there's still a long way to go, but City and Arsenal will have to kind of upper their game, because obviously they need to catch up now. It's very rarely I can ask you this type of question, but was there a lack of quality with the end product?
Sometimes what it can come down to, when you look at it, you look where he is, he makes some nice space for himself, and then he's right there. The ball's coming straight to his head. All he needs to do really is just direct it on goal, let the goalkeeper make a save at least or something, but he's tried to flash his head and it's not come up, it's come off his shoulder. So, you know, and again, that probably could decide the game, the way that game panned out.
Yeah, it was always going to be one of those games right from the start, wasn't it? You sensed one.
Yeah, mixed feelings, to be honest. I think we did really well without the ball, how we defend the box, how we track back, and everything we did without the ball was brilliant. And then with the ball, I felt like we should have done a bit better. It's also tough when you defend a lot and then you get a ball and you're tired. But yeah, I felt like we should have been a bit more calm with the ball, and we could have taken our chances a bit better there. So mixed feelings, but yeah, point in a good battle. So we'll take it.
No, that's what I was going to say, Mike. What's the atmosphere like in the dressing room? Is it one of disappointment because we didn't maybe attack them as much as we'd like to, but we know that we've been bitten before. People say we can't manage the game, or is everybody happy with that point?
Yeah, no, I think we're a bit disappointed, to be honest. We wanted to win, and we feel like we could have done better in certain areas, as I said. So yeah, it's mixed feelings. You know, it's a tough place to come. If you look at the game here last season and everything that happened here the last few times we come here, it's a good point. But yeah, we could have done better. So yeah, that's it.
And if I tell you you're the first team in 76 Premier League games to stop City scoring, that puts into context that the positivity from that, like you say, the defensive point of view today.
Yeah, that's brilliant. As I said, how we defended the box, our centre backs, and all the way from them up front to Kai and me, it was brilliant. The work we put down was so tough, but it was worth it. So that was brilliant, and I felt like we had the chance there in the second half, especially we had the momentum, but in the end, wasn't enough.
Yeah, a couple of half chances. They're fine margins in a game of this enormity, aren't they?
Yeah, it's small details, you know, in the game, and two very strong sides, two tactically good teams, and quality players all around. So yeah, it was a tough battle, but yeah, mixed feelings.
Having said that, you've played the treble winners twice this season. You haven't lost. You haven't let them score in either game. Is that a sign of the progress, even perhaps from 12 months ago?
Yeah, I think so. You have to look at what happened last season here and where we are now, and I feel like we've taken a lot of good steps in the right direction, and small details that maybe could have helped us to win the game, but yeah, in the end we'll take it.
Captain, last one for me, Gael Clichy. Congratulations. I have one question. You know, we're here all together and we're discussing the game, you know, and we are kind of not sad or disappointed with the way you played, but is it because you guys are performing so well since the beginning of the season that you are showing us that you can do better? Because this is the feeling we have, that with the quality you have around the team, maybe you could have been a little bit more adventurous, you know?
Yeah, but that's the feeling we have also. We feel like we could have done a bit better with the ball and keep it, especially when you win it, and it's so important the first one or two passes, you know, to take that first pressure off and get the control of the game. But yeah, as I said, when you run so much and you defend, I felt like we defended deep a bit more than we planned, so you win the ball and you're tired, so it's really hard, but yeah, today we couldn't do it, but yeah, I agree, it's a step we can take in the future.
9 games to go, 3 points separating 3 teams, all still very much to play for.
Yeah, definitely. It's so tight, you know, and many games to play and many points to play for, so it's a long way to go, and we'll keep working and we'll see.
Appreciate you joining us. Thanks very much indeed, Martin.
No, you guys, thank you.
Ever to defend as deep as they did here. We said it early on in the game, Roy. Surely they can't do that successfully for the entire game. So actually, do they deserve praise for keeping City out?
Yeah, of course. You know, everyone's got a plan before the game, but when you come to Man City, ultimately, you know you're going to defend. He said there the second half they didn't plan to be that deep, but they force you back. But it was just the moments then when they were in possession. I still think Arsenal probably wanted to do a little bit better. But when you're chasing the ball for long periods, you've got 28 possession in the game, you're going to have heavy legs. And they created 1 or 2 moments. I think they had only 2 shots on target. Obviously, Man City only had 1. So overall, Arsenal will be pleased. I think you have to look at City as the home team with their record the last few years. It's more disappointment for them. And you'd probably have to give the kind of credit to Arsenal.
Let's put those stats that Roy's just referenced in some context for you. And he's spot on. Just 1 on target from City, 2 from Arsenal. There've only been 3 games this season with as few as 3 attempts on target in the match. And 2 of those have been when City have played Arsenal. Of course, Martinelli made the difference from the bench in the game at the Emirates. Wasn't able to do that today. Why do you think that is, Theo? On the face of it, 2 teams who are cancelling each other out, but there's obviously a lot more going on than that.
Do you know what, when you watch the guys looking back at, like, you know, you've played a lot, and of course Roy as well, and you look back at games and they're frustrated with not getting a result, and then, you know, William Saliba there saying that they're playing against a world-class team. Yes, you are playing against a world-class team, and you managed to stop them from scoring, and you say those stats were scoring in 57 consecutive games as well. You've got to take your hats off to Arsenal. They got a result. That's a result. I mean, obviously, yes, they want to win, of course, but you come to Man City and you get a result and you frustrate them.
But might there be a case, though, when they look back at this and they say the first choice goalkeeper was missing? This is a back four playing together for the first time. Nathan Ake was injured during that first half as well.
But Arsenal, I would say as well, they didn't do enough to win the game. They didn't do enough, neither did City, and that's why it was very frustrating for the fans to watch it, us up here as well. We wanted a little bit more from the players, but there's always an element of, after an international break as well, with players tend to come back a bit sort of lethargic and haven't really prepared well enough, I don't think, and maybe that was the case today for both teams.
City are used to these challenges. That's not new what we saw today with Man City. And when you're coming up against teams who kind of sit in, that's where you need that real quality. The easiest part of football actually sometimes defending. You're just sliding across and everyone's filling spaces. And that's where you need your precise moments, that quality. And when you have people like Foden, De Bruyne, Haaland, who are just off it, we're talking just a few percent, you get away with it. So, we give credit to Arsenal, but when you're watching City at the start of the game, you can tell that these top players who've been at it for years and years, and they just come off it with, listen, there's injuries, they've had setbacks, of course, and they're not quite at it. And we're watching, and the flow and the precision in their passing is just off. Then that is the difference at this level.
Of course, Arsenal wanted to be more effective. They wanted to keep City out and then really hurt them on the break. And really, it was just a handful of moments for them on the counter-attack, Theo. And look at these two chances. Gabriel Jesus gets himself in a great area. What does he do wrong here to miss out on getting that chance?
Well, this is where we look at Gabriel Jesus as an out-and-out forward, and I don't think he is, because I don't feel like he had the vision to see Akanji come behind him as well, and actually that he believed he was going to win the ball. I think that's hard and that's a goal. We all know this, you know, and I just feel like that's the side of it where he can quite frustrate you when I don't think visually you can see everything at times when he dribbles with it, takes too many touches maybe, and someone's in a better space. I mean, yeah, it's a tap-in for any sort of forward there, I believe.
How hard is it to keep your concentration when you've been defending for a lot of the game and then these chances come? Can you keep your concentration and be ready for that chance, or is it because he was tired?
I mean, you're playing the Premier League, I expect these guys to be fit. I really do. Yes, I understand, obviously, Martin Odegaard saying there when they haven't had the ball as much and their legs feel heavy. Yes, I understand that. But when there's a chance to score, fitness levels don't come into account because you just don't think.
Changes late in the game as well. Trossard and Martinelli thrown into the fray, and you think, well, these are fresh minds, these are fresh bodies, fresh legs. So what happens here, Theo?
Well, I think initially the run's fantastic, but it's just that first touch that doesn't really allow him the space to get onto his left foot. And as you know, we see this generation of wings always want to come in onto their favourite foot, which is fine. But I just think here, yes, you can see the run's fantastic. But if as well, he looks up and Martinelli can probably burst in a bit quicker, maybe, if his touch was better. I think that's what sort of
and
set him back.
Interesting, we're giving Arsenal a lot of praise for all their keeping a clean sheet in defence. Arsenal the highest scorers in the league, and Man City, with all their problems, the goalkeeper in the back four, they've kept a clean sheet. So we can't be too hard on Man City, but it's just that there's such high standards, and Arsenal were dependent on moments.
That was his reaction.
Yeah.
Square it. That's what he's asking
You don't
for.
get many chances in these games, you really don't.
And it's easy when you're watching, as we all know.
Yeah.
Get back.
Get back, yeah.
Get
Deep
back
block,
and
deep
defend. Well, remember how tight it was when these two met at the Emirates earlier this season, so perhaps we shouldn't be too surprised with what we've seen so far. City have dominated possession, but Arsenal have actually had more shots. Who'll be more satisfied, do you think, Roy?
Well, I'm not sure. It's obviously been frustrating for us watching the game, but I think both managers will want a bit more from their teams, obviously. I think there's nothing wrong with Arsenal what they're doing. They're sitting in there, forcing City wide, City speed things up a little bit, and you're expecting a bit more from Arsenal, but it's cagey. Bit of an anti-climax, but hopefully we'll liven up in the second half.
City have got problems, particularly at the back, in terms of selection and injury problems. Nathan Ake's now gone off, but should he actually have scored before he was replaced, Mike?
Yeah, he should. Corner comes in and he just hits his shoulder. A good little bit of movement there, and you'll see it on the next angle here when he comes in. He just can't get the right purchase out. He's going to go with his head, but it comes off his shoulder. To be honest, he should be scoring that.
Gabriel Jesus has found himself in some good positions for Arsenal when they have managed to win the ball back and start advancing forward. Again, has he been a little bit guilty of being wasteful in those areas?
Well, this is the thing I said before the game, how Gabriel Jesus is very unpredictable, and at times here he probably snatches at it pretty quickly. He's a sort of player that can frustrate but can also excite as well in the same moment, because he does things out on the ordinary. He takes far too many touches at times, and at times you feel like he's probably confusing himself. This is the one here where I feel like where you've got to capitalise on the error Man City caused, and again, it's one of those when he gets the ball out wide here.
Do you think it's Arsenal's plan to be so deep?
I think it is, but they haven't got the pace of Martinelli to counter like they would normally do. And for me at the moment, Saka doesn't look quite himself as well. Maybe international duty. Well, obviously he went home. He didn't really feature, did he? So, but yeah, Jesus can be quite frustrating at times. But I think we're going to expect change though. Even Man City as well. I'd like to see someone like Doku or Grealish come on. Someone a bit, again, unpredictable. That's going to actually open up these defences.
Just feel very congested through the middle of the pitch. You think a Doku or a Martinelli could open the game up a little bit?
So, yeah, but Pep certainly won't be panicking yet, but he's got good options off the bench. And yeah, what Arsenal are doing is obviously it's quite hard to break down, but they just need to speed it up. A bit more pace, yeah, would certainly help. But Pep certainly won't be panicking yet.
I'm Derek Ray. I'm joined for commentary by former Arsenal fullback Lee Dixon. And without doubt, a match with the potential to bring genuine excitement. It's Luton Town taking on Chelsea.
Hi Derek, thank you. Well, both managers will be reminding their players how important...
Well, it could be on for him here. Is it going to be? Keeper getting the touch. And it's gone behind for the corner. Over it comes. Well, did his job defensively. And they'll get ready for the throw-in. Pearson. So after that, a goal kick it'll be. Well, pick your adjective where Hakim Ziyech is concerned. Explosive, I think, might be an approach. Can they take the lead here? And mistimed the run, sadly. That's offside. Throw-ins given. This looks promising.
Well, it's the care and attention, all that work.
And a blunder by the keeper. Werner. Promising attack, but his timing was off. Well, they've lost possession of the ball. Nicely cut out. Oh, that's an interesting pass. Ziyech. In it goes. An early goal. No wonder they're celebrating.
Well, as we look at this again, the keeper's every right to ask where his back line was, but 2v1 in the end. He's thinking now, is he going to pass or go round me? He's got no chance.
Well, real difficulty keeping the ball. Ball's gone.